viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to have a kind of a YouTube real talk. That's kind of what I think I want to name this, if I'm going to do it a series. I don't quite know. I was a little bit inspired by Mae Beauty's Tube Talks, how she kind of talks about things relating to YouTube and influencers and kind of goes in to give her perspective on things from both a viewer's side as well as an influencer's side, and kind of spark a discussion that is not necessarily super heated or putting anyone down or really negative, but just to really open the eyes of everybody to give both sides a perspective and have an open like conversation that is positive and not necessarily like super negative. And that's kind of what I want to do. There's lots of topics that kind of come to my mind when I think of this, that I've always thought about kind of filming and talking about, but then I'm just kind of like, I kind of shy away from it and don't do those videos. Because for one, I don't know if they're going to be interesting, and for two, I don't know. I don't know. But I have been wanting to talk about this for a while because I feel like I've been still seeing it frequently here and there from a variety of different people, whether on YouTube or in makeup groups. But I wanted to talk about why you don't see YouTubers use the products they rave about. Now this may or may not be a hot topic button for some of you, but I did wear my Dustin Daily, my drama shirt for today's video just because, not that this is drama, but I feel like this can be rooted in a lot of drama. And so I just wanted to talk about it because I can kind of understand where people will look at influencers and feel like they can't trust them because they'll rave about a product and recommend a product, but then you don't ever see them using it. And it's like, do we trust these people? I mean, they're saying they love this, but then you don't see them use it. Like, and so how does this make sense? And some people will say they only really see an influencer talk about something when it's sponsored or because it's sponsored, and then you don't like see them use it again. And I feel like the sponsorship thing could kind of be a whole separate video, a whole separate topic, but I still feel like kind of both of these things can be answered fairly simply. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. And I may be looking down a little bit here and there because I did take a bunch of notes for this. I didn't want this to be scripted because I totally could just read my notes out to you. I feel like that might be a little bit quicker, a little bit better, but I feel like might seem a little ingenuine. So I'm going to try to talk to you guys as much as I can and say this more real, but I do have some notes and key points that I wrote down that I want to make sure that I'm hitting in this video as well. I just want to spark a conversation and what, if you guys can kind of understand where I'm coming from and how it makes sense and kind of understand, you know, the points I'm going to bring up. As well as I'd love to just hear your input and start a discussion. And you guys are, you know, totally welcome to present your sides, how you feel about it, how you see it. But I just feel like for the most part, a lot of times when people get really upset about something, it's really one-sided without really thinking about the other side. And I'm the type of person who can see both sides, or at least I really try to. I feel like I do have that gift where I'm really good at seeing both sides of a situation, both sides of how someone is feeling. Even in a situation that I'm in, maybe in a conflict with somebody else, I can understand the other person's side who maybe has upset me, and I can understand, or maybe has hurt me or done whatever. I can understand why they've done what they've done, the reasoning, how they may feel, and all that stuff. I mean, doesn't mean that it hurts any less or was any less wrong, but I take that into consideration a lot of times when I'm you know, in situations like that. And so I like to do that in every aspect of life, is really understanding one side as well as my own and not just being completely one-sided. And I kind of just want to present that to you guys as well. So that's what I'm gonna hopefully do today. And of course, if I have missed any points or any sides, you know, like I said, please feel free to share your point of view and your side, and you know, share that so that other people can learn and grow. Also take in consideration that I am going to be speaking more so from the influencer side, because we have heard a lot from the viewer side, and I can relate to that, but I also understand the other side. So that's kind of what I'm going to present a little bit more in today's video. So let's go ahead and get into it with that huge long intro kind of thing out of the way. So the short answer for this is just that they get so much PR. So I am an influencer who I feel like I am very very small influencer. That being said though, I actually do get quite a bit of PR, so I could kind of understand that, not to the extent that some of these very, very much so bigger influencers do, but I can relate in the sense that it can be very overwhelming with the amount of products that you receive, for them probably on the daily, but for me like weekly, or you know, it's a lot. And so I just wrote that they get so much PR that it's almost impossible to use most products on camera more than once, especially for the YouTubers who only really film like once a week, which is really, really unfortunate. I mean, this being their job, you would think they would post a little bit more, so I get that. It's like, well, just post a few more videos, come on, like this is what you're supposed to be doing. Why don't you do that? But anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. I have some notes about that, but anyways, so it can be hard to use most products on camera more than once, especially YouTubers who upload only like once a week or twice a week. So going to that 1 or 2 videos that they're gonna upload, you know, for the week, of course they're gonna use all brand new products. One, because maybe they feel like they have to, which kind of, and 2, because they want to. I mean, when you are sent new products, like the smartest thing to do is to use them and to feature them in a video. I mean, that's why I feel like I'm very, very blessed to get the PR that I get. I don't always get things before the launch. Sometimes I do, and those times are like the best times. If I were to get something in knowing it hasn't launched yet, and if I didn't stop what I was doing and filmed a video on that like right away or soon enough to get it up before it goes live, like that would just be dumb of me and a waste of receiving that PR, especially if I know it's going to be super popular, because you know, people are going to be looking for the reviews, the videos, the demos, the tutorials with those products, and so you need to get the new, the new videos, the new products up. You know, priority gets put on that, because that's how your channel grows. That's how you become discovered. If you look at a lot of my videos, I don't get a ton of views. I wish I did get more, but if you look at the videos that I have the most views on, it's always on the videos with where I'm reviewing or doing an overview of brand new products that had just released, like Urban Decay especially is like some of my biggest hitting videos, because when they have launches, people are all rushing to look at you know, videos of that. So anyways, I feel like I'm kind of going off tangent, but let me just check my notes. Okay, so I wrote also the demand for, so the demand for, there's the demand for that, the people, their followers want to know about the newest products. Are these products worth it? They're getting it sent to them. They need to, you know, it's their job essentially to use them. And obviously with so much PR, you can't use everything new that you get, but you kind of have to put priority on the new products you get, because you know, if you're getting all this new stuff but then you're only using old stuff, you know, people are gonna be like, okay, we want to know about the new stuff. So there is demand from outsiders as well as your own followers to use what's new. You're getting it, why are you not featuring it? Which that also I feel like is can be another topic, is like, you know, people complain when, you know, influencers get new products sent to them in PR, but then they don't use it. But then people complain when, you know, they don't use the old products they get. It's like you can't win either way. It's so difficult. I know this seems like really like, oh, poor me, I'm an influencer, but I just mean like it can be, so I can understand how difficult it is. You really cannot win. You're gonna be disappointing someone somehow, you know, you really can't win. Going back to my notes, I just want to say, so their followers and others want to know more about all the new releases, not necessarily anything that's old news. So it could be really tough to go back to using an amazing foundation, for example, that you tried last month, and you may have loved it and thought it was great, raved about it, but if there are, you know, 3 new foundation releases that you got sent this month, it can be really hard to kind of go back and use this old one when people already want to know about these 3 other new foundations, and then you have to balance like, what am I going to try next? And it can be hard to go back to those products you raved about and thought were great, but like in a sense you almost can't use them if you want to be able to talk about and try out and test out the new products. Okay, and then kind of going back to what I had just said, I just wrote it down in my notes, and I feel like I said this a little bit in my notes a little bit better. I just put, when it's your job to try out and review products, people will get angry if you don't do that. Like if you're not reviewing those new products, people are going to be upset with you. But if you don't use older products, there will still be people who are upset with you for not using those products. And like I said, it's like a person can't win. So and I just put a little note here that this kind of goes back to the reason why I don't do favorites videos. I did a whole video about why I don't do favorites, and I think it was the same video as why I don't do favorites and why I'm quitting reviews. I'll link that video if you haven't seen it. But I just said I may love something and then call it my favorite, but I feel like if you don't see me using it again, or maybe hardly ever on camera, it's probably hard for you to believe me that that's my favorite. And I can understand that if you're not, and that's why I don't like doing that, because I don't want to say this is my favorite, but then you don't see me using it again. It's like, okay girl, like we really believe that's your favorite, you never use it, you know. And it's like, well, you know, I use it a lot off camera, or it's just like, it's one of those spots where I'm like, that's a sticky spot I don't want to put myself in. I don't like doing favorites for that reason. Not because I don't have favorites, but because I don't want to put myself in a position of being like, well, we don't believe her because she says this is her favorite, but she doesn't use it. But it's like, people don't always take in consideration the whys or whats, or you know what I mean? It's just hard. And there was other reasons in there about like why I don't do favorites, but I just wanted to mention that again real quick, because that is, I feel like, such a touchy thing. And not that I have to avoid being like touchy subjects or anything, but it's just like, it's just not really my thing anyways to do favorites. So oh, and then I wrote down, I said, funny thing is, if you were to ask me what my favorite mascara is, I'd probably still tell you that it's the Maybelline Define a Lash mascara, which is in the green tube. I still remember it. I still feel like truly that is one of my favorite mascaras, but I actually have not used that in literally years. And I actually was thinking about that recently and wanted to repurchase it to see if I still love it as much as I remember loving it. I feel like I will. I feel like so many mascaras like I try and I love and I really like, but I always go back to thinking that's my favorite. I haven't used it in years, but yeah, I still feel like in my heart that's my favorite. But the thing is, I haven't needed to buy new mascaras. I'm constantly getting new mascaras, whether in PR or when I was getting BoxyCharm. Like, I just always have mascaras, and it feels weird for me to go out and buy one when I don't need it. Even though that is my favorite, there's other ones that are really great to use. So it's like, I don't know, it's just so funny to me. So I just wanted to bring that up as an example. I just thought it was kind of funny, and I just wrote down that I just feel like we need to have a lot more grace and understanding for people. This all may look super easy and very glamorous, but it actually can be really hard and demanding. And I've talked about this before too, is that, you know, I have before gotten overwhelmed with makeup and overwhelmed with YouTube, and I'm a smaller channel. Like I'm nobody big, but yeah, I can still feel that pressure to have and do things just so, and like feel the need to want to please everybody. And I've kind of like been at the point where I'm like, I'm okay with not pleasing everybody, like, and I know I'm not going to please everybody, so I don't, not that I don't care, because obviously I don't want people to be unhappy with me, but I just have to realize, like, you cannot please everybody. There's always gonna be people who are unhappy with some of my content. Like, this is kind of off tangent, but I'm just gonna say, like, I really, like, a big part of my passion really is makeup and beauty and creating tutorials. But I also love fashion. I say fashion because I'm not into like fashion, like I don't know anything about like fashion and fabrics and brands and stuff like that. I'm not that into fashion. I like fashion, like I like clothes. I like styling things. I like affordable stuff, and I think it's so much fun. And I know not everybody on my channel loves my clothing try-on videos or my clothing haul videos, and so I can either choose to just stick to beauty, and so I don't upset those people who don't like my fashion videos, or I can just do what makes me happy, and that is doing both. I don't feel like I need to limit myself to just one thing to please everybody, because the crazy thing is that even though I love beauty and that's like the main focus of my channel, my clothing videos actually get way better views than the rest of my videos. So for me, I almost feel like, shoot, should I just switch and do all clothing videos? But I just feel like for me that would be boring. I like watching clothing and try on hauls and stuff like that, but I like variety. That's why my channel has always been kind of variety. I know everybody talks about really niching down and getting down to your niche and not really doing variety, but I'm a variety person. Like, I like variety. I couldn't imagine just sticking to one thing. I just can't. That's just not me. So you're gonna kind of get that, and you can just watch the videos you like and just pass over the ones you don't. And I'm okay with that. Like, I feel like if someone wants to support me, but they don't want to watch a certain video, that's totally fine. Support me in the videos that you like. Just skip over the ones you don't like. And you know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, that was a weird long tangent. I don't know if that even is gonna correlate with this video, but I just want to put that out there. Going back to, you know, people having grace and understanding, this all may look easy and glamorous, but can be very hard and demanding. Would it be great to see more people upload more so they can maybe show more products as well as use the older products? I mean, of course, that is like, I feel like, especially with the big influencers who hardly upload anymore, I feel like even I can relate to being like, just upload more. You've got to have the time now that you have an editor, now that you have like all this amazing filming stuff. Like me, I edit myself. It takes me forever sometimes to edit. It takes me a long time to film. I film multiple videos in one day. I have to set up my stuff because I only have a small space, so every time I film I have to set everything up and then, you know, put it away. I know it takes time. That being said, I just feel like I can relate to that, like being a really sucky thing. Like, you really enjoy someone's content and you want to see them upload more and you wish they uploaded more, but they just don't. But that being said, I wanted to bring up this, that there are a lot of channels out there, like a lot, mostly smaller creators, but some kind of like mid-range, who do upload constantly, anywhere from 3 to literally 7 times a week. Like, there are a lot of them. And so, and these are people who probably could definitely use a lot more views, a lot more attention. While we're putting so much attention and focus on and complaining about these bigger YouTubers, instead of doing that, let's focus on some of these other creators who are really putting in so much time, so much effort into their channels to bring content that, I wrote it down, content that is all encompassing. They really do it all. If you're wanting more, there are content creators who do that. And I think, I feel like I wrote down some of them. Maybe I'll get to it. Oh, I did write down some, so I'm gonna get to that. So they upload all the time, which is something that even I have not been able to achieve, because it truly does take a lot of time and a lot of work. For me personally, even though like I technically work from home, and I feel like I have this pressure on myself that I should be able to film and upload a lot more often than I do. Right now I'm about, my try to do 3 times a week, but the last couple weeks have been really tough. Like, something always seems to come up and I just haven't. So last week I only posted 2 videos, and week before that I only posted 1, but I try to at least do 3 videos a week. So those people who really do upload 3 to 4 to 5 to 7 times a week, it's like, I don't know how they do that, but goodness gracious, they deserve the recognition for that. And so, anyway, so what I wrote down was that rather than complaining about what you don't like and assuming intentions, maybe just take the content for what it is. And let's be real, in this day and age, it's just entertainment, you know? And while I feel like a lot of, especially, I'm going to say it again, like bigger YouTubers, bigger influencers is more so entertainment. It's not that I think they're only entertainment. Like, I do feel like they are trying to be helpful. But I just always try to say, like, take it for what it is. If you don't trust someone's review because they don't use a product they've raved about again, you know, or, you know, you don't trust them, like I said, just take it as entertainment. You don't have to trust them, but if you enjoy their content, enjoy them, rather than complain, just take it as entertainment. Take from it what you will, you know, take what you need from it, and then seek out others who will provide you with more of what you want and what you need content wise. There are so many other creators on YouTube who deserve more love and attention, and you know, you may just discover a new favorite. So with that, that's where I kind of get down to some of the ones that I do enjoy and recommend. And that would be the person who this video was inspired by, which is Mae Beauty. I really love her content. She has, I feel like, a variety of content as well. She does like makeup looks, reviews, like tutorials. She usually does like the testing 1 2 3 kind of thing. She'll do like several looks with one palette. She does like duping palettes. She has a lot of content that really makes you think, like her tube talks and stuff like that. I just really like her. She's very, very mellow, and just I enjoy her channel. She's a bigger YouTuber, but still like not like the big status, you know what I mean? And then next up I wrote down that girl Shae, who is again another pretty big well-known YouTuber, but I don't feel like she's, you know, a lot of people talk about her like let's say Jaclyn Hill or whatever. Like she's a bigger YouTuber, but she can definitely deserve more attention, like good attention, positive attention, and more views. She does amazing content, and she uploads very consistently and very often, and she does really great reviews. Like when she reviews a palette, she will do live swatches where she swatches literally every eyeshadow shade on her eyes, like to show. Like I think she's a really great person to watch. Samantha March is another YouTuber who is a smaller creator, much so bigger than me, so she's pretty, I feel like, well known, but still in the smaller range of content creators. And she uploads like every single day. I don't know how she does it. I am in awe of her. She is one of those people who like is very, very thorough. Like she does makeup looks, she does reviews, she does videos where she goes back to give you updates on the products she tried for the month. Like I do now, you know, my Beauty Rewind series. I don't think I realized when I started that series that she was someone who did that and probably started that. So I don't feel like I was necessarily inspired by her to do that, but technically I feel like she is probably the first one to really do that or make that a thing or make that popular, where monthly she will go back to hauls that she has done or new products she's tried and tell you an update of those. And it's very, you know, very helpful, and like she's very, very real, and she's like such a hard-working person. She's an author. Like I don't understand how she does it all. She's pretty amazing, and she definitely deserves to be, you know, really up there with you know, a bigger, you know, more views, more subscribers. She deserves it. She's worked really, really hard. Katie Marie, who I mention quite frequently, she's a really, really hard working content creator. She not only has her blog, but she started YouTube, and she's doing amazing on YouTube. She has a newsletter. She does really well on Instagram. Like she does so many things, and she's a mom of 2 very, very little kids, and she's very consistent. She's very, very thorough in her reviews, and she deserves more attention. Lauren DellaFera, she is another YouTube friend of mine who I mention quite often, and I've collabed with before. She does also like her makeup report videos and her like testing makeup and reviews, and she's very well spoken, and she like it just provides a very, very helpful content. Jen from Luvs Reviews is another YouTuber who I feel like a lot of people maybe are really, she's a lot more well known as well, kind of up there with Mae Beauty and that girl Shae. She does her, you know, weekly What's Up in Makeup, which is like the first like kind of makeup news show, like, and she's very, very thorough. She has very long videos as well, but very like breaks down ingredients, does ingredient analysis, like is very, very thorough in her reviews, and like really gives you the content that you're looking for if you're looking for a real review. And then the last person I have on here, and there's probably so many more, I just am trying to like give you content creators who I feel like post very consistently, as well as very, very helpful, honest reviews. But the last person I have on the list is Beauty Kristi, and I just adore her so much. She's so funny. She is probably out of all of the ones that I mentioned, the most well known, and I feel like I love her for that. Like I love that she is considered one of those top tier influencers, yet she's still very, very real, like very, very relatable, very down to earth, very humble. I just enjoy her content so much. I hardly ever miss one of her uploads. And even when she does sponsored videos, like she's just so real, so genuine, and you just like, I believe that she's being honest and true. It's just, there's no BS with her, you know, so I love that. Oh, and the main reason I wanted to mention Kristi is because she is an influencer who does upload only 3 times a week. I say only, that's not like it's a bad thing. I think she's very consistent in what she does. And she is a YouTuber who really, kind of like I said before, mostly does first impression reviews and trying products, you know, the new stuff. But even though she is constantly trying new products, you know that she genuinely loves them, because you will constantly see her use the products that she says she loves over and over again in her new videos. So even when she is trying out new products or a new brand or new whatever, there will still be some key products that she will go back to and use over and over again. That I could think of off the top of my head is the L'Oreal Pro Glow Foundation, the ColourPop Concealer, the It Cosmetics Love is the brush, Love is the foundation brush. Just off the top of my head, that's what I can think of. Like, oh, Mochalicious, like, you know, she loves that product. It's just there are content creators who can kind of do both, use new products as well as incorporate others. There are content creators who will give you a review and say something is their favorite, and then you'll see them use it again. There are content creators who will do a first impressions as well as a follow-up review. Like, there are those content creators out there. So when I constantly kind of see people complaining about these influencers who,
I hate first impressions, all they do is first impressions, no one ever updates about, you know, what they really think about it, so I don't trust them. Oh, they're saying this is their favorite, but they never use it again.
and I just am like, while that can be true, it's kind of just like, stop complaining about that with these influencers over and over again. Instead of that, seek out others who do that, because I promise you there are content creators who do provide what you were looking for. Now, are they these name brand influencers who are giving you all kinds of entertainment with the fancy lighting and the fancy editing and the fancy setups? Maybe not, but they are real people. Not the, I hate saying that. Not the big influencers aren't real people, but you know what I mean? Like, they're there giving you the stuff you want. Like, just seek them out and find them. So lastly, I just had this side note, which is what I kind of said earlier, and it was just, I wrote this as a side note, which is funny because I found a place to kind of put it in, but I just go over it again. I just said, I've seen so many people make videos complaining about how selfish YouTubers are, complaining about how they get so much PR but they don't show it, or they don't use it, or maybe they only do a PR haul. But then these same kind of people, like literally these same people, I've seen complain when influencers only use new products or only post when there's something new. Like how is somebody supposed to win with that? So speaking from my experience, it can be very, very hard to give everybody everything. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this YouTube Real Talk. I really would love to hear your thoughts on this, your point of view, your side of it, what you think of my side of it, and kind of hearing both sides. I would love if there is more discussion to be had, to have it as well. If you guys have any YouTube recommendations that maybe are lesser known, or you think deserve more subscribers, more attention, leave their channel names in a comment so other people can find them, and we can share the love, discover someone new, and show some well-deserving content creators some more attention. So anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!